How about now? How about now? Okay. Got it. We got it. How about now? Okay. Got it. We got it. Got it. See if we can get a few more people over here, folks. Go ahead and spread the word over there. See if we can get a few more people over here, folks. System playing. We'll start in 5 minutes. Okay, thank you for being patient. There we go. Okay. All right, we'll just have to push through this. So there'll be no graphics today. I'll have a big head here, and we'll just kind of go through the games and everything, and we'll do an intro. That way people can get over here. I see already a couple dozen, so we'll be ready to go in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. We've moved over here to my stream yard. I'm still sending out to the Sports Money YouTube channel, and I think we can also, if you don't mind, here real quick, I'm gonna just try to send it out to X System play here at least. There we go. Okay. Thank you, gang. Just want to, I'm going to test one more thing so I can hear the sound. I know you guys are saying it's good. Joe, thank you. Just want to make sure I deleted the right stream and everything's good. Obviously, I did. Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe only some of the accounts are being affected here. I've moved to my StreamYard account, so I had all the graphics typed in and everything over there, but it just won't be possible today to go redo these graphics. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So we'll start the show. We'll do just a little intro as I was trying to read off there before we got cut off, or before you guys told me what was going on. Thank you to Dave as well, everyone with their advice and everything there. So it's obviously something with some of the accounts on StreamYard because this one's working and I'm able to send to uh, Sports Money. So here we go. We'll keep the monologue short, but we'll keep, if you don't mind, just a few minutes to allow for some people to come in here a little bit. And so here's what I was saying while you guys are watching me without any sound. I was discussing last night the Bengals, of course, with the win over the Cowboys. We got a little bit lucky, us Bengals backers. Hopefully, you saw me over there at Pub Sports Radio last night with the guys. We had a pretty fun night. Wasn't the best game. I watched the Simpsons version of the game. Saw Lisa with a touchdown. Bart threw a touchdown pass, and well, the gang over there tried to call me Chief Wiggum, but I don't know if that is if I'm necessarily Chief Wiggum. I think we could find some better characters for me over there. But anyway, the big play. We'll skip the frivolous stuff today. The Bengals had blocked that punt on 4th and 26. The bizarre play. The Cowboy tried to field the ball. That made the ball live again. Then Burrow throws a 40-yard touchdown pass. I could almost narrate the highlights here. We're so far behind. Then the back-to-back sacks on the final series. Big game for Joey B. I wish I could have pulled the trigger a little more on Joey B. We talked about how it would be a great setup for him last night. He got that 40-yard TD pass to Jamar Chase, and the Bengals ended up winning it. We did fail in our premium pick play there yesterday on the over. Did have pretty solid day though in a few of the other sports here today with college basketball. We swept the main board in college basketball. Premium pick Minnesota and Indiana game to go over. Pennsylvania and VCU game to go under was a winner. ACU and Baylor over was a winner. We did have Hofstra and Norfolk under, but we went 3-1 in college basketball, 2-1 in the NHL with winners. Blackhawks Rangers under, also the Canadians over the Ducks gets the win there. We should have had Buffalo, but they choked yesterday, and NBA didn't quite go our way last night. So that's it for that. Let's see how many people we got here. Thank you guys for one thing we can do here. Somebody's calling me to tell me, am I on? Am I still on? Somebody's calling me to tell me the sound is off. But you guys are telling me we're looking good. So let me thank everyone for bearing with me here, including Nasty Nate here today, holding the fort here for me, keeping everybody informed. Thank you to Jermaine, Robert as well. Googly eyed for your advice. Sounds very familiar. All right, Sancho as well. Bobby Mack, Cash Kane. We've got 24 in here. Maybe we won't make it, but I know that we are. At least right now, I'm just going to look at it real quick, but I think the right feed is up there right now. Oh, yeah, and I'm playing with my head or something. So, all right, if you can find me now, it should be good to go. And Daniel, thank you everybody for being responsive to that while I worked through there. We tried 3 different devices, right? So there had to be something on their end. So, all right, appreciate everything here. Joe, thank you for holding it down as well. And Bo, hello. Nuke, hello. Thank you as well. So, um, Sancho, thanks a lot. We'll get started here with our previews. It's just going to be no graphics, just going to be me up in your grill here today as we try to get through this and preview as many games as we can. Like I said, we got a light schedule here with the NBA, our 2 NBA Cup games, a heavy NHL schedule, and I picked some college basketball games. Like I said, no graphics. We'll just have to make do here. Right now. So, all right, we got a couple dozen of you in over here. I think that's good to go. We'll also maybe talk a little Champions League or at least get your picks today on Champions League action. While I was getting started here, we had some steam come in. How about in the big one tonight between Michigan and Arkansas at the coaches versus cancer event in New York City? Under took the steam here as I was trying to get going. Down to 147, maybe 146.5. Michigan and Arkansas steamed to the under with that game here just as we were getting underway. All right. Also, steam came in while we were fiddling around there on Cornell versus Cal, steam to the over here at 165.5 or 166. And we see this one now, maybe 166.5 here with Cornell and Cal. All right. Also, Cal took steam in that game at 8.5 or so. It might be up to 9 here right now. Haven't even been able to check things out here, but Cal also took some steam while we were fiddling around. Also taking steam were the Nashville Predators in their game against Calgary. They were 145 up to 150 here right now, and or higher. Let's call it 155 or 160. Nashville taking the steam against Calgary here tonight. Also, USD, University of San Diego against Long Beach. San Diego takes the steam here at -4.5 or so. It might go up to 5 or so here right now. Steam already came in overnight on the under in that game. Maybe that's surprising. San Diego is a pretty high tempo team, but nonetheless, the Sharps, they don't care about that stuff. That's baked into the line, they tell me. 138, 137.5, maybe the total there. I'll try to take a peek at it. Also, steam came in on. Let's see here. North Dakota State, top of the board in their game against Butler. They took steam at -14.5, and we're looking here now at 14 or maybe even 13.5 with North Dakota State. It's going to be 13, probably 13.5 at least here. Probably a pretty big move here on North Dakota State. All right. All right, thanks everyone. And hey, you know what? We probably won't have. I think we do have we could have the commercial, but I think we're ready to go. I don't need to bother necessarily with that today. But you guys mentioned it a little bit, so appreciate that. You can get my picks over at. Let me take this off here. You get the QR code up there. You can get my picks over at winnable.com. For today. I'm at a pretty good roll here right now, so please consider giving me a holler over there by checking out my picks over at winnable.com. My best plays are over there. We did go yesterday 5-4, so I think that's probably more of a break-even situation there, but we had a pretty big day there on Sunday, so we're going to keep it going here today and get with the previews right away. We've got 3 dozen of you over here. That makes me feel pretty good that you guys were able to figure it out here. Hey, one more steam before we get going, huh? Tennessee State and Western Kentucky. We're seeing steam to the over here. The highest total of the day, I do believe, at 160. They're taking steam here right now to 161 or so with Tennessee State and Western Kentucky. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. I think we can't fool around now. We've got pretty much everybody, I think, is serious about it. No drawing today. The drawing will have to be canceled because the StreamYard tool is kind of hooked up with the account over there with the Mikey money. So just have no drawing here today. Let's get to the previews. No graphics. Just going to go down the games here real quick. So please listen here. To follow along this way. All right, NBA action here in the NBA Cup tonight. We have the Orlando Magic taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks are favored. I'll be very succinct in all of this here today. A little bit different format. The Bucks are favored by 7.5. The current total 214.5 to 215, maybe even juiced up here now at some of the square books up to 215.5 as this one keeps going here this morning. And hey, you know what? That's probably what I was going to do here is move on the over in this game. We've seen, maybe some unders from these two teams here, but man, with this one, with the trip to Las Vegas on the line, I don't expect necessarily the defenses for these teams, especially as many unders as Orlando has been playing of late and as well as they've been played. But I think we're going to see some high level play, and I think that will allow this total to still get over here. And then you notice the total has gone up here a couple of points, and you do have these two teams. Like I said, they have produced some unders here. You have Milwaukee 5-7 to the under at home. Orlando 7-9 to the under on the road. But note this: as an underdog, Orlando is 6-2 to the over. So I think I'm going to end up going over here. I think I like the premium on the side. So again, I don't expect many comments from you guys too much because of how it's working. But I got Ray here on Orlando, and Jermaine's got a prop in there. So appreciate that. Jermaine also says the Bucks are playing well enough. Maybe they can win the whole thing here, win 3 games, and get this title here. So, all right, Robert's on Orlando here in this one, taking those points. You got to think Orlando. Look, when you're talking about covering the spread, right? Orlando's done a pretty good job this season, but not quite in this role have they been that great. For being 15-11 against the spread, they are just 2-6 against the spread as an underdog. It's just that Milwaukee also has a pretty poor spread record. We know they've played a lot better, however, of late, even though they've lost 2 of their last 3. One of those was to Boston, of course, came back and beat Brooklyn. All right. Joe likes the over in this one. Jermaine says the Bucks will roll. Rich says they just aren't covering big spreads. Yeah, they are not. They're not covering many spreads at all. So we'll see. I still think both teams are playing. Milwaukee playing a lot better here of late. And of course, Orlando has just been really strong with their shorthanded situation. They've done a great job. I think that shows that they are for real as far as being a legitimate team. Not that they're going to overtake some of these East teams or anything, but no doubt at 17-9, the team with a better record here, Orlando. I'll take the over though as my play. All right. Next up here will be Dallas taking on OKC in the first I guess quarterfinal or West semifinal of, if you want to call it that, right? Do I have it described right there with Dallas and OKC? With OKC at home favored by 4.5. This total much higher, 230.5 or 231 or so coming into this one. We know that Dallas has been playing really good here of late. They're on a winning streak. Oklahoma City's been strong as well. Dallas didn't cover their last game against Toronto, favored by 8, but they were just they won by 7 as an 8-point favorite here. So both these teams covering well here right now against the spread. They're combined 28-17 against the spread so far this season. But I think Dallas for me has been just a little bit hotter team, it seems like here of late. There's no doubt that these guys are both these teams are money making teams here so far this season and right now here, especially over the last several games. Both teams very strong against the number. Of course, OKC 13-8-1 against the spread as a favorite, and Dallas is 5-2-1 against the spread as an underdog. You look at the total here. Dallas has been going over quite a bit here of late. Dallas is 10-3 to the over on the road, and get this, Dallas is 8-0 to the over as an underdog here. So, I know this one talking about whether or not teams will come in and end up playing defense here. Uh, I don't know. I'm going to save the total here maybe for the premium. I'm going to go with Dallas. I think, getting a little bit of points here. Dallas playing really well with this winning streak. Feels like it's going to be a pretty good game. So I'm willing to take Dallas here in this one. Probably could type in the graphics on the fly, but I kept you guys waiting so long. Here's Ray on the under here. Gravy, hello. Thank you, everybody. And Robert on Dallas here. He's also on the under. Did I say that? Got some props here as well. Sorry if I make a mistake here on some of these choosing your comments here today. Things look a little bit different over here on my StreamYard. Not too much, but all right. All right, I think that is going to do it for the NBA Cup. I think we've got enough in here now. But for my picks here, at least on the show, I'll take Orlando game to go over, and I'll take the Mavs on the side. And I'm going to play both games as a premium today. So please check me out at Winnable. All right. Next up, we're going to go over to the National Hockey League here today. I keep wanting to go to my graphics, and I just don't have them. So let's just start talking about them here with the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the New Jersey Devils. To start us off, you got the Devils here favored $1.40. The total 6/20. I'm expecting in goal here Stolars for Toronto and Markstrom for New Jersey. I'm going to reset the goalies here just in case there's been any confirmed goalies in there, but Markstrom has been confirmed here for New Jersey. Markstrom 13-6-1 with a 2.5 goals against and a 90.5 save percentage coming into this one. Columbus has been really one of the most profitable teams at home this season. Considering their status as kind of a 500 club, sometimes they've been getting some plus money at home and been able to do a pretty nice job here right now. They are 8-3 at home this season. Now the Flyers seems like they've done the best of their work kind of on the road. They're 6-4 straight up on the road, but oh man, at this price, the Flyers are actually a little bit profitable on the road. But also these two teams, man, talk about goal scoring in these scenarios here. Columbus 10-2 to the over at home. Flyers are 8-5 to the over on the road. I'm listing Urson here for the Flyers today and Merzlikins here for Columbus in this one. So plenty of sharp support for the under in this game. It does seem kind of a long shot here considering how Columbus has been going over so frequently here of late. All right, go ahead if you guys have any comments here as we start to get into these NHL games today, and thank you for bearing with me. Use your comments here as the filler at this point. And it's going to be Philly Eagle Flyer on the Leafs. This is the first games there a little bit. Got Sancho here on the Leafs. And Markel wondering about the soccer, maybe from the gang or maybe from me. I don't know. I might have a card here. I know I have some picks. certainly. I don't know if I'm just going to bet them here. I looked at them pretty deep because of the cards, kind of light here today. Okay, here comes the plays in this one. You got the Blue Jackets here for Tex. You got Robert on the Flyers here. And Texas on New Jersey here in this one. Right. Nuke says he might have Wall in there in that uh, Toronto game there. Okay. All right, you guys. Think, well, for me in this one, I'm going to take Columbus here. I think they've been pretty solid at home, and I don't think the Flyers, look, they've done a nice job. It feels like to be, 500 club here at this point. But see here. Philly Eagle Flyer says, yeah, you got to think over maybe in this one with the way the Jackets have been going over in all these home games, certainly. Flyers don't have that much of a trend, I don't think, one way or the other. All right.
System play.
Guess I'll keep it going here. I feel like I don't have quite enough material now without my other screen, but shouldn't really make a difference. So, all right. I am taking Columbus, though, here in this one. Thanks, you guys. All right. Next up will be the Sharks and the Hurricanes. Now, certainly we do have some interesting news right out of this one because of the trade yesterday. We'll see. Sometimes a new place, putting a face in a new place is just the way to go. And we saw the trade yesterday between the Sharks and the Avalanche as Gurdjieff goes from Colorado to San Jose in exchange for Blackwood there with that deal yesterday. So maybe Gurdjieff can find footing in San Jose. Maybe this is the trade that Colorado needed to get a guy like Mackenzie Blackwood, who was probably just going to flail away there in San Jose. Is there, I don't know, they've been okay, San Jose, but also in the trade was Kovalink goes to the Sharks and a number 5 pick. So in exchange, San Jose Colorado gets Blackwood and Geo Smith and a number 5 pick as well. I don't know if they flopped number 5 picks, didn't look into it that closely, but nonetheless, I don't think you're going to see Blackwood in here in gold just yet I say for Colorado, but for Gurdjieff for San Jose. I don't know if we're expected to see just yet him in there in this one. So maybe Vanasek here going up against Kashetkov here for the Hurricanes in this one. We'll talk about the Avalanche up next. We've already seen some big time steam here today on the Hurricanes. They're up to $5 here at some books. Some of the square books are up to $5.50 here. Kind of crazy right now. I mean, yes, San Jose has been pretty woeful. We know that. But this is actually a decent situation. San Jose has had some success against Carolina. They've covered the puck line in 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams, interestingly enough, although Carolina has won 5 straight games against the Sharks and 5 in a row here at home against the Sharks. So, but San Jose, I mean, for as poor as they've been at 10-15-2 or 10-15-5 this season against the puck line, they are 19-11 as a puck line dog. Carolina's been okay as a puck line favorite, but man, could you really stomach a $5 play there? Maybe I could take the Sharks plus 2.5. Can I do that here on the show? What's the price on 2.5? It seems like this is a series where they actually hang in there. And, let me see here what that price is. today plus 2.5. Plus 1.5 is plus 165. And plus 2.5 goals here is minus $1.20. I'm going to take San Jose plus 2.5 goals. Uh, you know, maybe it's a situation because look, the Sharks haven't been much worse than or better than this, I should say, over the last couple of years. We know these teams only meet a couple of times per year, but we've seen the same version of the Hurricanes for the most part. So maybe it could be a spot where they just are not focused to get a puck line victory here against this team. As bad as the Sharks have been, they still, like I said, 10-15. So I'm going to take the Sharks plus 2.5 goals here in this one. All right, let's see here. Anybody picking it with me here? Robert, I think, likes the under here. And that's what, yeah, even Markel, right? Even if it's money line here, whatever you want, right? I'm trying to give a great win here. So plus 2.5 at minus 120 seems like a logical play for me, but no doubt the Sharks got to contain some value in this price at this point at plus $4 or so. So I'll take them here. All right. Fernando liking the under. Cash Kane says, "Look, this is going to be probably here, 5-0, 4-0, 3-0, somewhere around there." Philly Eagle Flyer says Kane's team total over here, and Avs team total to go over as well. So okay, so again, we'll see when the goalies will take place with their new teams, but we'll talk now here about the Colorado Avalanche and their game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So uh, Blackwood. Look, this is a big move for Colorado. Make no mistake. It was Gurdjieff. We know you guys have been making fun of them all season long with Gurdjieff in there. So now with Blackwood, who certainly looks like a young star goalie here coming in. Now, we don't expect him here today necessarily. Wedgwood, their other new goaltender, as the Avalanche have tried, if anything, as poorly as they played defensively, giving up all those goals, they've managed the situation really well to be 16-13 right now. So they're still serious about this team here right now. And why wouldn't you be when you have the kind of skaters that they have? But right now, Colorado here still an under team for the most part. Pittsburgh 9-6-1 to the over. They'll have Nedeljkovic in here from what I'm projecting in this one. Let's see here. Make sure we got as much as we can. Yeah, Wedgwood is actually confirmed here as the goalie in this one. He's 3-3 with a 2.8 goals against and a 90.5% save percentage. So we'll see how it goes. But again, you have Carolina. Let me give the line out here. Forget about the graphics. Colorado minus 160 here, and the total 6.5 over at minus 120. Pretty high price here for Colorado, but they've done pretty well in the series against Pittsburgh. They've covered the puck line in 5 of the last 7 meetings, although they were dogs in several of those meetings here, and they're a pretty stiff favorite here. I'm going to take Colorado on the road minus $1.50, $1.60 here. Pretty big favorite, but I'm going to try the Avalanche here in this one over the Pens tonight. Sancho's on him as well. He's leaning to the over. Textiles was laying it big time in that San Jose game. And Rich had 5-2 in that first game with Toronto. Hopefully, you guys are catching up to me here. Appreciate you guys finding me on the newer stream here. We got 60 of you in here. So, like I said, we're having some technical issues, so no graphics here today. So please pay close attention to what I'm saying if you so choose. Okay, Colorado here for Tex. And Canes got an ATG on Crosby. All right, next up, it's my LA Kings taking on the New York Islanders. The Kings are on the road here at $1.30 here against the Isles. The Kings have covered the puck line in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Also, the Islanders, however, have won 6 of the last 8 meetings at home against the Kings. Now, that's once a year, so wouldn't get too up in arms about all that. I'm showing here for the Kings will be Rittich in goal here today. The Kings are favored minus $1.30 to $1.35. Ilya Sorokin goes here in net for the Islanders in this one. See if you guys have a pick here. I think I'm going with the Kings as my pick here. The Kings come in on a winning streak right now. They're 16-8-3 overall. They've been taking on all comers and doing a pretty good job. They play good defense. They've got solid goaltending for sure here. So I would think that's what we're going to get in this one is a pretty low scoring game. And I got the Kings coming out on top. I'm going to take the Kings in this one over the Islanders. The Kings are 10-5 as a favorite this season. They are just 6-6 on the road, but the Islanders are 5-6 at home right now. So give me the LA Kings in this one to win on the road as a favorite against the Isles. All right, let's see if anybody's on them here. We got Sancho on the Isles. Cliff, thanks for finding me over here. Dave's on the under. Robert's on the Kings. Tex is on the over here. And Philly Eagle Flyer on the Isles. And I want to say that Steve A is not spamming us because, I always talk about crypto over here. So I'm going to give him the time of day and let him talk about the crypto here that's kind of tanking here right now over the last several minutes. I, of course, have Doge. And hey, big deal here. Just dropped $21 for me. No big, no biggie. All right. I think he's fine. Steve A, say hi here. All right. King's here for Jermaine. Chad, nice to see you. Nice to see you, Chad. How are you? Great. Yeah, Chad, you know what? There were some problems. There were some technical issues. If you want to put your play up, that's fine. But I did cover it already at the beginning of the show, of course. We didn't end up starting till 7 o'clock because of, or 7 my time, 10 Eastern. I don't even have my graphics because we had some technical issues. So nice to see you, though. Hope all is well. All right. So here we go right now. Next up I'll take the LA Kings in this one. So let me know, Chad, what you got on those cup games. I'll let you know. He says he's got OKC -4. So there's a Chad challenge. I'll take Dallas against you, my man. And he's got the Bucks in the first half. I took the over as my show play here in the Orlando-Milwaukee game. Stated that, Orlando's played great unders for sure, but I think we got a good game here tonight, and I think it'll sneak over. Okay, thanks, brother. All right. Here we go last night. Dave says, yeah, I did, Dave. I watched that Simpsons. I wouldn't have watched it if it was a bunch of games on or the game was crummy, so I figured I'd watch that. All right, here we go right now. Next up is going to be for us Calgary taking on Nashville. Here, the Predators at $1.50 or so. Like I said, they did take the widely reported steam here in this one to go to minus $1.65 or so, up from $1.45 early on. The total is 5.5 over 20. I'm showing Vladar in for Calgary, and Saros here for Nashville in this one. Yeah, I think that'll be the goalie matchup here. It feels like today for Sara. She's 6-12-5 with a 2.66 goals against. Vladar 5-5-4 with a 2.95 goals against average. But we know that Calgary is a big home road dichotomy type of team, it feels like, right? Calgary right now, they're on a two-game losing streak. Nashville's been absolutely woeful here right now on their big losing streak. But man, that steam came in on Nashville. I just kind of preferred Nashville here in this one at home against Calgary. Calgary 3-7 straight up on the road. Nashville at least is 5-6 at home. Probably doesn't feel quite worth it at this price, but maybe $1.50 is a fair price or so. So maybe there's a little bit of tax in there for that steam. I'll just take the Predators here, but this is probably one of the worst games on the board right now. It feels like the way these two teams are going. Calgary's still above 500, but just on the road, they're just clearly not the same team. So I'm going to try Nashville if they're going to be a favorite here. I think some people will look at Calgary and say take them as a dog with the much better record, but so I think that it's a pretty big advantage in goal, I would think. All right, let's see here. No, it says right now, keep fading the Preds, says Philly Eagle Flyer. Take their team total under. I mean, they're having such troubles scoring here, right? You see, no, the total 5.5 here in this one, and you have the Predators are 5-11-1 to the under as a favorite, and the Flames are 6-10-2 to the under as an underdog. So, maybe probably go premium here, but I'm going to take Nashville on the show. Rich likes the under. Cash Kane likes the Predators, or as I like to call them, the Predictors. That's what we do. Irish King found the new stream. Thank you. And text is on Nashville. Irish King's on Colorado. And Robert is on the under. Did Thomas make it over here, you guys? He might have got frustrated and left on the show, left there, I think. I know it wasn't great to get off to such a rough start there. Okay, I'm on Nashville. Let's keep it going here right now with the next game up. The Boston Bruins taking on the Winnipeg Jets in a nice game for sure here with the Bruins 15-11-3. Winnipeg comes in 20-9 here in this one with Hellebuck likely scheduled in goal, it feels like here for the Jets. Thank you, Dave, for your dono to the Sports Money Network. Really appreciate that. All right. And for the Bruins here, I'm expecting it'll be Swayman here in this one with Winnipeg favored minus $1.35, maybe $1.40 here right now. And Boston's had a pretty good time of it when playing Winnipeg here. So maybe that will continue. I still think Boston is still a pretty, good team. We know that. They're on a winning streak here right now with 4 straight wins, but Boston has won 7 of the last 8 meetings overall against the Winnipeg Jets. So I think here is a little bit of a dog. I'm going to end up taking Boston here at plus money, maybe plus $1.05, plus $1.10. That's okay with me. Look, Winnipeg's great. We know that, but they have lost here a few. They lost to Columbus at home last time out, 4-1. Now they did beat Chicago. They did beat Buffalo, but they lost to St. Louis before that at home. So I'm going to try Boston here, and probably what should be a low scoring game, I would think. These Winnipeg games right now are going under for the most part. They are 9-12 to the under as a favorite. We'll note that Boston is 6-2 to the over as a dog, but they've gone under in 7 of their last 10. So I'm going to take Boston here in this one. Thank you, Nuke, for plugging away with us here. And let's see. JW says when you got Swayman on the road, that's not the best. Rich says take the Jets here. Cash Kane says take the Jets. I'm going to take the Bruins, I'm afraid. Robert's going to go under here. He knows what's going to be the top play in that game for me. All right. Guess I'll keep it going here right now when the next one up. The Lightning taking on the Oilers here. You got the Oilers, $1.45 or so, and the total 6.5, maybe even juiced a little bit here, huh? To the over right now, maybe $1.15, $1.20 as we get two teams that probably know their way around. I don't think they're going tremendously over though of late. Let's take a look. You got Tampa Bay 14-9-2, Edmonton 15-10-2, I believe, coming in. Tampa Bay, they've been a solid over team, 7-2-1 to the over in their last 10. They mostly go over on the road. Does Tampa Bay? I'm showing Tampa Bay will have Vasilevsky in here, likely against the Oilers. Skinner in this one, so feels like Skinner may be at a little bit of an advantage here for Tampa Bay. They are just 4-5 as an underdog so far this season, but Edmonton, they haven't been profitable at home. They're just 7-6 at home overall. So let's see what you guys want to do. I'll still probably take Edmonton. This is a reasonable price for me. It feels like here with the Oilers at $1. I'll call it $1.50, but I'll take the Oilers in this one. Man, I've got all sides and no totals here. How about that? Let's see here. Terrell. Thank you. Sancho, Oilers puck line. Here's Cash Gain over in the Oilers here. Rich says, Lightning puck line. Reddy Samedi's here today with a pick as well. Dana Delp as well. Cash Gain likes Hedman for a goal today. Here's first period, both teams to score and over 1.5. And Tex likes the over in this one. All right, thanks, fam. Appreciate it. And I went with the Oilers. We're making it through, and maybe the show will be over here in a reasonable hour. I know we're not covering as much today after costing us that first hour with our technical difficulties. So here we go with St. Louis taking on Vancouver. In this one, you got Vancouver minus $1.75. They come in off of a loss here at 14-8-4. Vancouver lost to Tampa Bay at home 4-2 last time out. St. Louis 13-13-2. They're also off a loss, losing at Edmonton 4-2, but they did beat Winnipeg and Calgary on the 3-game trip there on the road here. So got Minnesota taking the attention of handicappers big time here today. It's hard to find one that is on Utah, but there is some support for Utah out there. But it does feel like people are calling for a Minnesota road win here. You have in goal for Minnesota, Gustafsson here, and Vejmelka for Utah in this one. So let's see if you guys have a pick here, but I'm going to kind of just side with these cappers, it feels like today. You know what? I'm gonna try the under as my play here at 5.5. I haven't given out any totals, and I feel like that's my specialty. Anybody can give out sides. I figured the reason why I give out so many totals is because everyone gives out sides. So why not be a little different? I don't really look at it that way. I just kind of pick the best. But I know Minnesota is going to be pretty popular at the window today, and maybe you guys are probably telling me in the chat. I'll start looking. So let me go with the under in this one. I think people are going to be on Minnesota here for the most part against Utah. Let's see here. Tex liked the Lightning in that other game, and Robert liked Edmonton. And we got Cooch back in, right, Irish? We got Cooch back in. Take him to get a goal. Take him to get a point. Sancho on the Canucks in the next one. We're almost there. And maybe, let's see here. Canucks in regulation. am I in the future? uh, am I on the wrong game here, gang? You guys are all over that game. All right, here's Tex on the Wild at least. All right, next up, I'll better go to the Blues game right now. You guys are treating it like the biggest game of the night. Blues are 13-13-2. Vank comes in 14-8-4. Both teams off of a loss. Vancouver lost at home to Tampa Bay 4-2, while St. Louis. Oh, maybe I was reading the wrong game, is what it was, right? Man, I'm really screwed up with all these issues I've had today. Thanks for Legal Flyer. Man, I'm really sketchy here because of my issues here today. Hopefully, you guys will understand and forgive me if I got a little flustered here today. So, hopefully, I gave out the right play, though. I went with Minnesota and Utah under, okay, in that previous game. Anyways, in this one, there was widely reported steam actually on the over in the Blues game with the Canucks here. The total is still mostly 5.5, however, juiced to the over with these two teams. Vancouver 8-4-1 to the over at home, but St. Louis has been pretty strong to the under, no doubt. So far this season, they're 8-12-4 to the under as a dog. You know, St. Louis has been a profitable team on the road with their 8-7 record. They're always an underdog, and we know for whatever reason Vancouver's just been awful at home, and they did most of their good work on the road for whatever reason. So I just figure, like you guys said, it was a little bit high there on the price. Sancho, we're not going to have any consensus here today because of the I can't do the drawing. Conducting the show from over here on my StreamYard program, and I'm sending it over to Mike's. Oh, I'm sending it to the YouTube channel from my StreamYard, and I don't have it quite hooked up. I probably could have done it if I would have taken, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting. So no drawing here today. Plus we're 0 for 30 now or something like that. So did sound like it was the Wild there, and I might even be on them on a premium. Anyways, with the Blues and the Canucks, I just think you have a Canucks team here that, for whatever reason, they're very strong on the road and not too strong at home right now. Maybe they've just had a little bit of, I don't want to call it luck, but, you know, they've played well enough on the road, let's just say. And I'm going to end up on the Blues, like several of you, it looked like here. The Blues on the puck line are minus $1.77. So let me take the Blues just outright here as my play on the show. I'll take the dog here with the St. Louis Blues. Okay, last one in hockey is the Florida Panthers and the Seattle Kraken. In this one, you've got the Panthers here minus $1.80, and the total is 6 over. Or no, I'm sorry, it is 6 under here right now. Definitely seeing a move to the under, and I'm all about it here today. I hope it doesn't dip to 5.5. I kind of wanted to send it out as my play. For Seattle here, they have had some success in this series with Florida. Florida is just Seattle is 5-1 here against on the puck line. 5-1 Seattle on the puck line the last 6 games against the Florida Panthers. So as a big dog here, thank you, Ron, for your best bets here today. Appreciate it. Truth Teller is here today. He says, "What's good, Truth Teller? If you only knew." hear what's bad today with me. But thanks for coming by. We've had a rough morning here. Yeah, Dave, no graphics here because of the graphics were all loaded up on the other StreamYard that I work on, and just wouldn't have been any time here to get the graphics going. So just gonna have to. We're just reading them off here. Robert likes the under here. Cash Kane likes the Panthers here in this one. I'm going to end up on the Kraken here in this one. They are at plus $1.50. Man, I've got a lot of sides today. And I'm going to take the Kraken here at plus $1.50. Take him as a dog in this one. Sancho likes the Panthers in regulation. Dave likes Seattle. That's it for hockey, you guys. Really appreciate it as far as sticking with me here on the show today. And hopefully that'll be worked out tomorrow. And like I said, for any of you joining us, we're just having some technical issues. Had to restart the stream. And so the show has a little different appearance today, and the graphics are over on the other channel. But I will say I did go on to X and did a little search. If you type in like a search on StreamYard, just type in StreamYard, you'll see that there are other streamers having the same type of problems as we were there, which is interesting because I went to look at, to be honest, I looked at Tony's morning show, the show that I used to hold down over there, and well, they got 4 guys doing it now just to show you how it goes, but they were working just fine. So there's obviously something with the accounts of different accounts having some issues maybe, and whether or not Mike is a later subscriber, and maybe I was thinking of this, that Mike was a later subscriber I think than I was to StreamYard. Maybe there's something to which accounts or which servers the accounts are on, blah, blah, blah. So, okay. Rich, I took the Kraken over the Panthers. Philly Eagle Flyer was on the Panthers. And appreciate it. So we got it off here. We got it off today, and I'm sure it'll be back working tomorrow. And I'd seen that before happen to some people, and I didn't realize their maybe what was happening, but I've seen that before with some people. And if you type it in StreamYard into the X search, you'll see other people having the same problem. So probably not all the accounts. Okay, I do have some college basketball games I'd like to look at today, so maybe I could just cover these real quick. We'll wrap up the show and cross our fingers for tomorrow. I'll just go whip up some breakfast here and count my blessings that you guys are sticking with me. We got 50 of you over here, and well, maybe you guys will pick up my winnable picks today. All right, really appreciate all the support, by the way. Okay, let's start with Miami of Florida and Tennessee. This is at the Coaches versus Cancer event at Madison Square Garden. You do have Tennessee, a huge favorite here. Obviously, Tennessee, the number 2 team in the country here right now, looking pretty outstanding, no doubt about it. But, Miami's not awful, right? Their record is awful, but I think their personnel is pretty decent still. It's just that look who Miami has had to play. They've lost to Clemson. They lost to Arkansas. I guess it all started the disaster with Charleston Southern. They did lose to VCU and Oak State as well, but there are plenty of folks ready to pile in here on Miami. Handicappers appear to favor Miami. Like maybe they'll be able to turn it around here a little bit, but man, Tennessee, looking very, very sharp right now. They're 7-1 against the spread here currently, and Miami just 2-7 currently against the spread. So I don't know what the handicappers are necessarily seeing here in Miami today, other than maybe inflation of the point spread for Tennessee. But I think Tennessee can win this game by 20 or more today. And I kind of want to play him as a premium, but I kind of got spooked a little bit by the number of expert cappers that I follow that are still liking Miami here. So for me, I'll probably just take Tennessee and look at them to roll here against the Hurricanes. It's a neutral site game. So let's see here if you guys have anything a little bit here in this one. Jermaine likes Morgan State against Xavier today. Thank you. Truth teller, that's awesome. Well, then keep buying, and then I'll just keep blowing them up. All right. Hurricane. See, you got Jermaine on the Hurricanes. You got Robert on the Hurricanes. He's also on the under here. I think that's where I'm going to end up here as a premium. But uh, for me, I'll take Tennessee. I don't know if I'm seeing what everybody necessarily is seeing here. I think with Lanier looking pretty strong here for Miami right now, they've got all the tools, and I think they do have a strong uh, advantage at guard in this game. Matt D likes Tennessee laying those big points, and Dana likes the under. Thanks a lot, you guys. All right. Let's see here. Next one I chose was Penn State taking on Rutgers in a Big Ten game on the road here with Rutgers. About a 1 point favorite here in this one with Penn State. You got uh, handicappers kind of favoring Rutgers here in this one, but I wasn't so sure of that. The widely reported steam came in on Penn State. Penn State's 8-1 here coming into this one. Now I know this probably looks like a good spot for Rutgers. That's what you're kind of seeing from handicappers here, I think, today. But Rutgers is still 3-8 against the spread so far. These two teams do play low scoring series. Do play a low scoring series in their matchups over the last few years, and you have Penn State 0-3 to the under on the road. Rutgers is definitely going over in their games, 4-1 to the over at home so far this season. But for me, I just think the series history may have a little bit of something to do with it, with that under as well. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under, and 5 straight meetings between these two teams in New Jersey have gone under here. So I'm going to take the under in this one with Penn State and Rutgers. Currently, the total in this game is at 158 now. So they're expecting a high scoring game here. And yeah, I'm showing Rutgers there. I said 1.5, or what I say, 1.5. Rutgers is a 2.5 point favorite right now. They appear to be the sharp side, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing it. I agree. Terrell says home teams have been very, very strong right now in the Big Ten. I just don't know if Rutgers is good enough, though, against Penn State. And Morgan has a great comment here. Went to the game, and Rutgers left it on the table, and this could be a bounce back spot for them as they come back here home to be at home. So, yeah, those freshmen are great, no doubt about it. And I love this team for sure, but Penn State's looked really good so far. I think we could agree on that. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Want to say hello to Peasy in here. To Peasy, stop by. Did I miss that? Where is it at? All right. Joe wants Charlotte and Davidson. We can probably look at it here real quick. Joe, do you have it up on the community tab? Or did you want to say it here on the... If it's on the community tab, I mean, we'll just tease it as such. Tell you to head over to the community tab today and get the picks. I know they're not up there just yet because I looked at it here while I was fooling around, but I don't want to get in your way, sir. If you want to make that pick, I'll let you do so, and follow Joe's picks over on the community tab today. So I'll be looking forward to that. I won't step on your toes here. I didn't have it included in the preview, so. But I'll be interested in what you have over there because I do think I like a side I was maybe saving for a premium. All right. But the next one I did want to touch on, we got until the Rhode Island Rams lose, we're going to have to keep talking about them to keep Nate going here because Rhode Island, man, this is like the old days of Rhode Island, man. We're cruising here. If you guys watched Rhode Island back when I was young, younger, anyway, man, there was they had some teams in the NCAA tournament that could really go, but they're taking on a good Brown Bears team here for sure. This is a hot game up there today between Brown and Rhode Island. Brown comes in maybe the better spread team at this point. Now, I don't think Rhode Island's overrated or anything. In fact, they've covered the last two here. They covered against Providence. They covered against Yale here of late. So the widely reported steam did come in on the under here in this one. We know that's how Brown goes, but not Rhode Island, man. Rhode Island is more of a tempo team here. But when these two teams have met, it's been pretty much under city. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Rhode Island's kind of dominated the series, of course, but right now, Rhode Island is currently favored by 4.5, and the total 150.5. I'm going to take the under here in this one. I'm going to trust that with two good teams in Brown at home, where they've gone 1-4 to the under so far. I think Brown's pretty good. Obviously, they're on a winning streak here. Maybe the opponents haven't been great, but they haven't been awful either. They beat Bryant as an underdog. They beat Vermont as an underdog. They did beat Stony and covered a big number. They did beat Canisius, didn't cover, but just missed by 1 point, and they blasted Sacred Heart. So Brown's done a really nice job here right now, and Rhode Island may be a little bit better, and maybe they can cover the road number here. Let's see what you have. Tom Reghard, hello. Nice to see you. Jermaine was on Charlotte in that one. And let's see what else here real quick. Robert's on Brown. Kane's on Brown. And Jermaine says, I'm fading Brown. Rich says, give me Brown money line. Or no, he's saying Brown money line is a public play. I don't know if he's taking it necessarily. And Morgan says Brown beat Vermont with they were, I think he's saying Brown had the short change there a little bit, but maybe a regression spot in Rhode Island, the better team overall here, he says. And Gravy, maybe lean into Brown there. And JW says he thought that the performance against Providence there, winning that one and covering as a dog, was impressive. But yes, Vermont had the injured players. Gotcha. All right. For me in this one, I'll just take the under here with Rhode Island and Brown. Okay, we're going to keep it going. We're almost done here, you guys, today. Thank you for fighting through with me on these technical issues. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with graphics and back to a normal show. But we got some conference games to cover here today, including here's one. Providence and DePaul. Maybe I could have skipped this one without any graphics. I don't know if it's a great matchup, but it was closely rated. You have DePaul. Man, can you believe the turnaround that DePaul has kind of gone through here? I mean, consider how woeful they were for years there a little bit now. I don't think, it's necessarily let's turn it around or anything like that. They're still, barely in the top 100, but they were on a winning streak. Yeah, they lost last game to a pretty good Texas Tech team. And yeah, they've had an easy schedule, but considering where DePaul has been over the last several years, I mean, remember, it was just last year. They were 3-29, but you bring in a guy like Holtman in here, hey, if it didn't work out at Ohio State, I'm sorry, but seems like DePaul's got their man here. I mean, look, Holtman, remember, I mean, he comes from Butler, he comes from OSU. He, kind of turned around that Gardner Webb situation many years ago. So I think this is the right situation for a guy like Holtman here. And this is still going to be a tough game. I mean, Providence is 6-4 right now, but yeah, they've lost to some. They lost that game to Rhode Island. They lost to Indiana. They lost to Davidson. They lost to Oklahoma. Still a pretty good team, but DePaul 5-2 against the spread here, including 5-2 as a favorite. But I don't know. I'm just going to end up with the under here in this one. These two teams have played a series of unders here recently. In fact, it is right now. Let me see if we have that number. Uh, I know this series has had an under stretch here. I just don't know if I have it available here to call it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 7 of the last 8 meetings here in uh, at DePaul have gone under the total. So I'm going to end up going under. Providence has won 5 straight meetings and covered the spread in this series. So maybe that will show that they still are the better team here, and the DePaul's had a little bit of a good run here, no doubt about it. There's no doubt DePaul's an improved team with guys like Meyer in there and Skogman and Enright as well. So I'm going to end up though here taking the under in this one. All right, I think you guys had some plays in there. Kane says DePaul. Terrell says, yeah, look at who they were playing, right? When you're talking about DePaul's schedule with Valpo, NIU, Eastern Illinois, I think, and Duquesne. So Holtman, pretty good coach. DePaul got a guy finally. They thought they had a guy, and that didn't work out at all, right? Figure what would I say? They were basically gone downhill with Stubblefield, so that wasn't going to work out. All right. And JW says this is a big moment for DePaul to get a chance against somebody they can beat. Okay. Thanks a lot, you guys. How about Michigan here at Arkansas or versus Arkansas at the coaches versus cancer event in New York, Michigan, a 4-point favorite. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here. Look, Michigan is going to be perceived as the better team, but Arkansas has done a nice job so far with a 7-2 record thus far. Now, can't really pitch you Arkansas necessarily against the spread. They've been pretty woeful here so far, but they've been favored in a lot of games. They're still 0-2 as an underdog, however. And you do have the handicappers maybe leaning towards Michigan here a little bit, but man, these two teams are both 3-6 to the under so far. So I'm going to end up here with an under in this game at 146. At this point, let me see what it is currently. 146.5 is probably the low number here. I'm going to take the under in this one with Michigan and Arkansas. But like I said, Arkansas has a good record, but they've been favored in so many games, and they really haven't covered in a lot of these games. Against UTSA, they were favored by 20, did not cover. They were favored by 4 over Miami, didn't cover. They lost to Illinois as an underdog, but they were favored over Eastern Shore by 34. They did crush them, but lost to Little Rock beat Little Rock by 12 as a 21-point favorite. So I'm going to just take the under as my play for now with Michigan and Arkansas. Thank you, Spooner, for that comment there about Holtman. And yeah, maybe that's why, but again, he was in the Big Ten. So, Ohio State, they had a reason to get rid of him, I guess, when it was all said and done. They do expect a little bit more in Columbus. So, okay. Here's an exact score for uh, Terrell. Thank you. And I think that's it for the show, you guys. I really appreciate your patience today. Oh, I got one more. I do have one more here, gang. Uh, Wisconsin, and hello to Lenora. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. Thank you so much. You missed a bad show. Here's Irish King on Florida, Gravy on Arkansas. One more, real quick, if I can. How about Wisconsin and Illinois? Looks like a pretty good game today, with Illinois favored by 6 and 154. Just let you know, I like the over here in this one. This has been a pretty strong series for Illinois. I know you guys just mentioned there the home advantage for these Big Ten teams right now, and this kind of feels like the same thing, right? Illinois 5-0 against the spread against Wisconsin in the last 5 meetings between the two. Also, 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone over. Thanks, Morgan. You know, we got it. We got through it here. Googly eyed. Thank you for all your assistance as well. Trying to get that going. So, all right, Wisconsin here for Kane. Cool, you guys. All right. So for me here in this one, I'm going to take the over with Wisconsin going against Illinois. There's been a little bit of history, right? I just said 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and we know Wisconsin they're just a totally different club this year. This is not your typical Wisconsin. Speaking of those kind of programs there, right? A little bit. There's no doubt that we're not seeing the same Wisconsin here, is what it feels like with Guard this year. Look at what they have. Let me see here. They lost the last 2, certainly, to Michigan and Marquette, so they do have a conference loss here. But look at some of the scores Wisconsin has been putting up, and I'm not saying that their pace is faster than expected, but you don't expect Wisconsin necessarily to be 8-2 to the over so far. It's Illinois that's 2-5 to the under as a favorite, but I'm going to go over in this one with Wisconsin and Illinois here. Illinois should. Kane likes Wisconsin here, and Joe says they are an over, and if I've got an over, that's a great way to end the show with Joe telling me he likes this one as an over. All right, you guys, I really want to thank you guys for bearing with me today as we had. Terrell, thank you for the play here with Cal and Cornell. I will just tell you that the widely reported steam did come in on Cal. They moved from 8.5 up to 9.5 now. And that total, highest total of the day, as we said earlier, right? From 166 up to 166.5 or so. So, all right. So thanks a lot, everybody. I apologize. There's no drawing today because we don't have it hooked up. You got to, pick the right show, and it wasn't loaded up, and I'd have to go to this account. Blah, blah, blah. You don't want to hear all that. I'll just say we hope. I'll say, in the words of a great man, we will do better tomorrow. We'll try to do better tomorrow and work on these, figure out what the problem was. But like I said, it sounds like they've got an issue with the StreamYard there. So I know there's some people bagging on it over there at in Xland, but I still think it's a pretty good program for an old guy like me that probably couldn't figure out how to do the OBS or anything like that. So just appreciate you guys being here. Please check me out over at winnable.com where you can get my best plays today. I don't even have the right panel up, but nonetheless, you can go over to winnable.com and check it out over there. Get my best plays for today in NBA, NHL, college basketball. Appreciate you guys sticking with me here through the rough show. We'll just keep it an hour here today, and we'll be back tomorrow and keep it going here this week. So for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. Thanks a lot, everybody. So long.